As an NFL fan, it didn't make any sense. You got a running back who is a faster version of a Gary Blunt. The move, in my opinion, they should have made was the move the Seattle Seahawks made and get Dwayne Brown, the left tackle. Last week against the 49ers, according to Pro Football Focus, the 49ers were number 4 giving quarterback pressure. If we didn't watch the Eagles game last week, you saw Carson Wentz get knocked on his butt the whole first half. The offense started making a lot of bad decisions with their football, which led to turnovers. What I'm saying is, Jason Peters being down, that's a big thing. Ajayi is not going to make the run game any better if the offensive line is not producing, in my opinion. It's a crowded backfield. The man has knee injury problems. He hasn't played a full 16 games yet at all. He only had one great season. And again, you mortgage your draft picks. All you got now is a first-round pick, 2 fourths, a 5, 6, and 7. You're not the Patriots. So I got to say.
You know, I'm kind of like seesawing with the decision and the acquisition of Ajayi over to the Eagles, because when you look at last year, a lot of people are going to bring up his fantasy aspect about how he had those 3 200-yard games, and that's exactly the problem. He had 2 of those 200-yard games against the Buffalo Bills, whose run defense last year was god-awful, and then it came against the Steelers, who can be known to have those games where they're streaky and allow big games to running backs. And that right there shows you, if he had 1,200 rushing yards last season and he got half of those yards in 3 games, is he really consistent or is he more of a streaky back? Pull up his PFR records and you'll see that most of his games, he's ranging from about 40 yards, 70 yards, 60, 45, 48, 51. I mean, he's only had 200-yard games this year. You can bring up the Miami offense and the offensive line itself, but if you're and this is what, you know, why I also look at the positive side of it, because it can be good for Philly. I do believe they had a couple of 4th-round picks this year coming up in 2018, if I'm correct on that. But so to me, it seems like they had an expendable 4th-round pick. And then if you're looking at this in now position right now for the 2017 season, you're looking at the Eagles, you're looking at the rest of the schedule, you're actually looking at the NFC as a whole. Why not? Why not try to get a running back who actually might have maybe just a sense of like urgency inside of him to say, hey, new home. These guys are most likely, trending as the best team in the NFC. I like where this line is. I like the offense. I especially love having Carson Wentz as the guy in front of me now and protecting. So you never know how this could be. It could be a great change of pace for both the Ajayi and the Eagles. It could be great for the Miami Dolphins. As you can see, Gaze is not happy with the starters there, the stars, and he wants to get rid of that. He wants to try to change the face. It could work out for both, and that's why I kind of lean on the positivity side for the Eagles. It's like, hey, why not? It's a 4th-rounder. It could work out for you for a damn well good couple years. We do know about the bone-on-bone grinding in the knee, and that's what worries me as personally as a fan. I wouldn't want him, but for a 4th-rounder, it's, hey, roll the dice. Why not? I mean, it could work out very well for them in the end. I understand what you mean about a little bit of a crowded backfield, but you're more looking now as focusing on Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount being a tandem, while Smallwood is probably going to be like that little Swiss Army knife kind of factor where they'll kind of plug him in almost like a Chris Thompson type of role on those passing downs. So, you know what? I honestly, I was a hater at first about it because of where he is as a running back and as a whole. But Doolin Fox, I'll let you take over. I honestly think this might be a good trade overall for the Eagles, to be honest with you.
Well, in my opinion, it's a fantastic trade for Philadelphia. And I understand the concern with the left tackle situation and Peters going down, but Peters will be back next year. And this is a long-term decision. This isn't a short-term fix. And Ajayi is a Blunt and Smallwood combination running back. He can run in between the tackles. He can also be a good receiving back. So in that aspect, you had 3 4th-round picks. You gave up Minnesota's 4th-round pick that you got in a steal for Sam Bradford. You can't go wrong with that. And let's face the facts. He ran for over 1,200 yards last year, Josh, echoing your sentiments, in 3 or 4 games. Almost 60% of his statistics came in those games. He did that between the 22nd best run blocking offensive line. This year, they're at 30. So it's been a shit run blocking offensive line for him. They couldn't block traffic, let alone block for him at this point. So I think it's an awesome trade for them, considering the fact that they have a top 10 run blocking offensive line. He may actually get the opportunities and find the holes that he needs. Yes, injuries are concerned, but at the end of the day, you still got two other running backs that you can fall back on and possibly rely on. You've got the third best rushing attack in the NFL right now. This is a huge upgrade of a guy that can actually take 60 to 70% of the snaps, as opposed to the juggling act that's been going on in that backfield thus far.